Welcome to the Royal Geek Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Olison, also known as T-Roll. And tonight I am joined by my very good friends. First of all, we have Anthony Amato, who we like to call Shamato. And we got our boy Jordan Mosley with us as well. You might notice that our friend, Justin Sandoval, a.k.a. Sandy, still not with us.
Our so-called friend.
Yeah. We left him in Earth 2. And he is not here this week. He will be back next week. So allegedly, we hope. But yeah, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are excited to be here. Guys, we're going to be talking Peacemaker. This is episode 7. Yeah, it's the penultimate episode.
Yes.
I'm excited to talk about it with you guys. Real quick, though, before we talk about that, before we do the spoiler warning, big shout out to all of our listeners. Thanks for tuning in. We want to remind you to please subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen, and please share this podcast with all of your geek and or nerd friends. Help us out, all right? You got anybody that enjoys watching DC, Star Wars, Marvel, all the various things we cover, movies, TV shows, send this podcast their way. Helps us out a lot. Fellas, I'm excited to talk about this. We, just for context, for everyone listening, we just watched it together. 2 weeks straight. See, this is what happens when Justin doesn't show up. We actually have more time. We get to watch the shows together, which is fun. I'm kind of liking this. Maybe we shouldn't have him back. What do you think?
Yeah, we just need to stop telling him when we record.
Yeah.
The next time, what we'll do it before. We'll meet at your house.
Yes.
And then when he shows up,
we're already done.
We'll just We'll fake record a podcast, and he'll think he's on it.
Dude, that's an amazing idea.
That's a good idea.
Although he's going to listen to this and fully be prepared for that now. But That is an amazing idea. But he'll never know when we do it.
No,
because he shows up so late. So we're just.
There was that one time that we muted him.
That's true.
That was pretty hilarious.
That was good. Okay, well, let's do this. Spoiler warning. For episode 7 of season 2, Peacemaker, this is called Like a Keith in the Night.
Another banger.
Right?
Banger name.
Incredible. They keep killing it. Like a Keith in the Night, here's your spoiler warning. Okay, fellas, I have so much to say. Do you guys feel, I don't want to say let down, but like I was just I was not expecting all the different things they did in this episode.
Yeah.
Like, what? I don't know how to take it in.
I would say my biggest worry is actually the fact that I'm like, honestly, it's a very what we usually do with the Marvel shows. How are they going to land this plane?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I have an idea, but it's like, they're generally like 35-minute episodes.
Right.
So it's like, it's not a full, network hour. It's longer than like a regular sitcom, but it's definitely shorter than like a network hour. So it's going to be interesting to see what they can do. I mean, it's been phenomenal, and honestly, like everything that they have done has just been like amazing up to this point. But it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to land it.
Yeah.
Well, I know James Gunn, he does. One thing I love that he does is the Q&As, or he'll just like randomly show up on somebody's, like on their tweet, and then he just answers the question.
Yeah, I know.
So like somebody asked about that, like, hey, what's the runtime going to be on the last episode? And he just said it'll be longer. It's like,
okay.
Maybe
what 1 minute longer.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But I mean, I think,
Longer than what?
Yeah, I think that
Longer than
hopefully we get an hour. That'd be nice. I know
longer than an episode of Metalocalypse or
Let's hope so.
an episode of Bluey. Longer than an episode of Bluey.
Yeah, let's hope so. Jeez. Okay. Let me just come out and say it, because the big thing about this episode is that, like, his dad in this other universe isn't the Nazi. Wasn't a bad guy. Like, turned a blind eye to a lot of things, but seemed to be.
he's a family man.
Yeah, it was so. I just constantly was like, what is going on here? Like when he rounded everyone up and he said, "You're going to tell us what you know. You're going to get back in that portal, and you're never going to come back." And I'm like, wait, you're not going to kill these people?
Yeah, it was very strange. Now I'm thinking about it, I guess we did see him. I was about to did we see him kill any of the cops? But we did.
He did. Oh yeah,
He mowed them down.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No witnesses for
yes,
sure.
Yes. But anyway, it did seem like he was like leaning into like, I don't know. For a moment, I was like, maybe could he be like a secret Son of Liberty himself?
I was thinking that
like,
too,
you know,
like it was about to be revealed to Keith. Like he's been hiding this from Keith
Yes.
and his sons the whole time.
Yeah.
And now it's going to come out in this moment. Like I was
Yeah.
thinking that too. Man, I just the whole time with him, I was like blown away. Like, and you could tell it in Peacemaker's face too. He is like just so confused. You
Yeah.
know.
I just kept waiting for, I guess, like the ball to drop and it just to be like he was faking it.
Yeah.
Like I mean
Yeah.
that's
Like a
something a lot.
cruel, like just didn't be
Yep.
Augie from season 1.
Yep.
Mhm,
I mean that's
mhm.
what all shows do is they play it up. The person's too good to be true, and then they turn out being the villain.
Yeah.
And I just kept waiting. I was like, okay, that's too good of a statement.
Yep.
Okay, that's too nice of a thing. And like, okay, when are they gonna reveal it? And then when Vigilante showed up behind him, we were all just like, oh,
Like, oh no.
like, he
Oh,
is a good
no.
man.
You could see it coming
Yes.
from the background. Yeah, I mean, it just turns out that all he wanted to do was protect his. It was just his, not even his legacy, a little bit of that, but just his stuff,
Yeah.
his position,
His family.
his family,
Really, that's what he wanted to
his
say.
power, his
Yeah.
influence. He was just trying
And
to.
it seemed like what he was trying to do was just like, it'll be interesting to see, like, if we get to see a little more about what they actually did in this universe, and how did it go? Because he did seem like he was, like, when he explained it to like Harcourt about what he does, in
Yeah.
this universe, it seemed like he was doing what he felt like he could in a world where not everything was perfect.
Right. But he definitely didn't seem like. I mean, when she called him a Nazi, he was offended by that.
Yes, he was very offended.
Very offended by that. And when Keith said that he was chasing after Adebayo, he's like, "What do you? We don't do that."
Yeah,
Like I was like, dude, he is like going kind of
Yeah.
against all this, and it just and Keith is the one that's the hothead. Like, what are the chances of this?
Yeah,
I like
you know?
how Augie like shamed hardcore, like was like, oh, and like in your universe, like is everything just like perfect?
Yeah.
And
Right.
oh man,
Yeah.
he turned that on her.
Oh yeah.
I'm
so
sure in
good.
your perfect world.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah. Oh man. And,
And it was interesting seeing, like, with the way that Chris had viewed their world. It was interesting seeing some of the people from Earth 2 talk about, like, oh, you have this perfect world, or like whatever. Like how seeing like the other hand, like kind of just like the basic idea of grass is always greener on the other side,
Mm.
kind of being played out with with Augie's representation of it, and with even Vigilante Earth 2's version, essentially like kind of acting like, oh, that the other world must be better,
Right,
in a lot of ways. So it was interesting seeing
like the
that-
Nazis didn't win. It must be amazing. You must live in a
Yes.
utopia. And he's like,
Yeah. Yeah, and then of course, even ads dropping, like the whole like fact that like it's not as different as
we would think, or she
Yes.
said something like that.
yeah, like as I was hoping it would be, or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, yeah, like thinking through that is something I'm gonna have to think about later because there's a lot to unpack with those things that they were all saying.
Yeah.
Of course.
I mean,
yeah.
and a great job on his end because like I know we talked a little bit last week, like he's towing the line on some tough subjects. I mean, he
Yeah.
still
Talking
is.
about gun.
A gun, yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's towing the line on some tough ones. So for him to kind of like play it out to where it's you can see both sides of it, it's like pretty interesting.
Yeah. It's like she might not be getting chased for being black on the streets in her world, but she still is dealing with different types of
Yeah.
prejudice and
Yep.
racism,
She may be getting chased with eyes.
yeah,
like
Or
other
for being
things.
lesbian. It
Yep.
could be.
Yeah,
She got
like all
multiple
kinds of
things.
different things.
Yeah.
That could be happening in that world. And also I do think it's interesting that he kind of muddies the waters with this idea of just because you live in an imperfect world doesn't necessarily mean you are evil in your own right.
Mm.
Like with like that, I think that's what he was getting at with Augie, is like you may, just because you live in a world that is run by people who, and Augie drops it, he's like, oh, they're like, oh, you kill all those cops, and he's like, well, you can't really trust the cops in this world.
Yeah, those
Like,
cops. Are
like,
yeah,
that type of
and
thing.
knowing that he like he's not down with the whole Nazi stuff. So
Yeah.
so even more, he's like he really doesn't like the cops.
Yeah.
So not only was he like trying to like no witnesses here, but he probably was like, I gotta kill some of these guys today.
Yeah.
Probably pretty excited about that.
Yeah, so it was probably partially that too, and he just knew that like even if he had left them to live, like they would have done something, or like
Yeah.
they would have brought something back to someone about something, and they would come down on them with a probably pretty heavy hand.
Yeah, and I guess it makes sense too. Thinking of Augie, it's like he stabs Economos in the hand. Now he wrapped it with like duct tape, but he didn't kill him. That's
Yeah.
my point. Like he
He
didn't
could
kill
have.
him.
He could have
Could've.
like essentially. He could have killed him on the spot. Like
Absolutely.
honestly, he had him very much in a position where.
Oh, dude, he could have ended his life for sure. So
Yeah.
it's just, yeah, it's so. I mean, just talk about like I was coming into this episode. I was expecting like, dude, these guys.
Evil.
Evil,
Yeah.
evil. And Keith is troubled, but even him, it's like Augie raised him in a home where like they're at least it sounds like he was not trying to be about all this white supremacist stuff. And
Yeah.
they were trying to do good within the margins of their world.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they, for the most part, have. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that Gunn just totally pulled that off.
Yeah.
That's where I'm like, when I said disappointed earlier, that wasn't the word. I guess disappointed because I wanted to see just how crazy this world was.
Yeah.
Like, so
Yeah.
Adebayo gets away, which is good for her. I'm thankful for that.
Yes.
But there was a part of me that's like, oh, I was like, where? When they say got out. And then I think Vigilante 2 was talking about how people are still in
Yes.
internment camps now in their
Yes.
world. It's like, I kind of want to see what that looks like just for the sake of knowing how evil this
Yeah.
world is.
I mean,
you
it's
know?
interesting to like the idea of what kind of. Is it a situation where it's a tiered system, like almost a caste system,
Caste
to
system,
where,
sure.
like, do all they have is like these relatively straightforward white collar jobs that don't really like where you're not really having to bust it, you
Yeah,
know, like
yeah.
so all like your probably mechanical production, your food production, all that kind of stuff is being done by this secondary caste, so that you don't have, so that the higher caste doesn't have to do those types of jobs. Is what it's kind of
Maybe.
looking like it's playing out.
Probably. Yeah, probably. So,
Because I mean, and honestly, like, how much did you actually see anyone really like working, like in this world? Like,
like waiters or janitors or
there wasn't like a
Factory
whole lot of
workers.
like. It was all like very white collar stuff. Like there was the one worker that we really saw in the DMV office, which is a very white collar job. I mean Argus, but that's like, I mean, that's a pretty high end job
government.
anyway.
Yeah.
Who knows what happens? Maybe at night they bring in a cleaning crew that is,
Minorities.
of, a minority group that is, generally not allowed.
Yeah. Man, but again, just in general, the fact that Augie was like I guess a good dude, and the moment we're watching it, and you just see in the background Vigilante jumping over fences and running in, and I mean,
Yeah.
I thought he was going to kill him with a gun, like through the window.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was expecting that too.
So when
Like almost like the exact same way that like Chris killed him in like Earth
season
1.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he smashes through the glass. I was like, oh, okay, he's not going to die. But then, dude, within seconds,
Yeah.
stab.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting more like he jumps on them and they stop him.
Right, me
Like,
too.
and they're like,
Nobody
oh, like
stopped him.
he's like, why would you do? And then they have like and then that leads to more exposition of like why do we want to stop, like all that kind of stuff. I was actually thinking more of from season 1 where he takes his long shot for the senator's family.
Yeah.
That's kind of what like I was just kind of like he's gone type of situation.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay.
Gosh, it was insane. So like Augie's dead, the cops are in and coming in the house, and like it's just total mayhem everywhere. Economist is getting dragged,
Yep.
tied up in the chair. And yeah, Keith is about to kill Chris. I know okay, so we didn't go chronological here at all. But
Not at all.
it's okay. We'll
We
talk
actually
about
went like reverse.
Yeah, we did.
chronological.
Yeah,
but all
honestly.
the fun stuff we'll do later. I just, the meat of the story is what I want to get at, because to me, it's just I can't wait to talk about it. Keith's trying to kill Chris, and so Chris's team steps in, and
Yeah, and it's literally like it's oh my god, like honestly a horrifying scene.
yeah,
Like from his like he's seeing all the people that currently care for him literally just like holding his brother down and just stabbing him.
yeah,
Like,
choking him, stabbing him.
yes.
And even the way John Cena screams "stop," you could almost hear as if he's a little kid.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, like that was so deep. Even you know, like
Yeah, it was like you could just see just
The
all
pain.
the pain and trauma that was being inflicted upon him in this moment.
And like all the like the practical makeup and stuff that they put on Keith there at the end looked awesome.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, to
I
make it
mean,
look so beat up.
yeah, it looked great.
Yeah. And so like okay, so they're escaping again. I want to get to the main plot here. So they're leaving, and Harcourt tells Vigilante 2, "Let me get that gun," because she's gonna double tap, take him out. Which
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
Wonderful. Any show that doesn't do that,
Yeah.
I understand it. You have to move the story along, but it always makes me so mad.
But here's the thing: she doesn't get to because the cops come around. Vigilante pushes her, or she runs, or either way, she gets out. Vigilante closes the door. Keith survives. So here's my question. This gets back to Shimano, you mentioning, it feels like this felt like a Marvel penultimate episode, and it's feeling like a Marvel finale potentially coming up, where it's like, how are they going to land this? My question is, what's going to happen? Like, Keith survives. We were joking on the couch watching this earlier, like they just created a supervillain in this world, because, he's lost everything.
Yeah.
Is Keith going to come to Earth 1? Does he even know how to? Is he just going to figure it out? Is that going to be season 3? Season 3's problem? Like
He definitely knows how to, because like he said that he came through the door in the closet, and like Keith like knew he was talking.
he doesn't know
about.
the code. Like he didn't even know it existed. Augie was telling him about the existence of it. He never told him about it.
I thought I thought that it was like you know.
Well, he might know about it, but he might not know about the parallel universes. I actually can't remember as I think back.
Because he does talk about like the imps.
That's right. You're right.
Remember
Okay. Yeah.
earlier
So he
in
does know about
this-
it.
in
Okay.
the season?
All right. Well, so he's going to come at some point. That's the point.
for sure. Yeah.
So here, that's my question. In the next episode, is there going to be a season 3? Because here's my thing. If they do the next episode, that's when I'm like, that's a very Marvel thing. Like it just happened. Keith's almost dead, and now he's here. The next episode in the finale to like destroy Earth 1 or something. Like,
Yeah.
what do you guys think's going to happen?
I mean, I was kind of thinking what's going to happen is he's going to come to Earth 1, and Argus is going to need Chris to help them.
Yeah, because he's going to be. And he is pretty powerful. His suit can do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Well, like I know the whole. I'm not sure the full background of Superman, Man of Tomorrow, but like the whole premise is like Lex and Superman have to work together, right? Isn't that what they're saying?
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah,
And
I don't know
a
against
greater
what.
enemy of some sort.
So like, and they said that this leads right into that. Now, I'm not saying that
Keith Brainiac.
Like I don't think he's the main guy, but I think like he has an agenda, and now like a
Nazi agenda.
Yeah, a Nazi agenda where like I think that he'll play a bigger role like in that movie. Hopefully. I like the actor, I like the performance he's doing. So if they keep him on, great.
I don't think so. I don't think he's going to end up in Man of Tomorrow. I think either
You think he's a small screen guy?
I think either he's here or he's going to be left for season 3.
It's got to be. I'm actually hoping that because it would feel just so rushed if he just shows up in the finale. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it's a time jump because like Chris is going to be in prison for a year and Keith is going to heal, but then it's like just do that in the next like a season jump.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, so my pushback on that will be then what is the conflict? Is this final episode literally just going to be like a jailbreak episode?
That's right. That's my point. If they don't, here's my point. I think they shouldn't have Keith show up in this last episode.
Well,
Okay.
But if they,
Or maybe an end credit. Like maybe
yes,
like
that's good.
I think like I think you said it while we were watching it, like you made the comment like you called him like Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Like I could see something like that. Maybe not as like a direct ripoff, but I mean the dude was beat up.
Yeah.
So like what if that's like the end credit scene of just like him being created into
Him
something
him
like-
being White Dragon.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like
yeah,
him
exactly.
essentially
Right, because there was no white dragon. He's a blue dragon.
Yep.
That's
like,
good,
basically,
Shimano.
basically, you get a scene of, the scene in season 1 where you see Augie just getting like built
Yeah.
up.
Yep.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
you basically have the same scene happening
That's good.
essentially with Keith.
That's good. So that's my thing. He has to be. If there is, do we know if season 3 is confirmed?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But if there is a season 3, that's what they should do. So to the point of then what happens in the conflict in the last episode, I agree. That's where I'm like, it feels so weird because a jailbreak episode doesn't excite me. It's like,
Yeah.
and Chris doesn't even want that. This guy is tired. He's just
broken.
like,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
broken.
Yeah.
He's done.
He doesn't. He's like, I don't even want these people to rescue me. Like just leave me alone. But like, that's my guess. That's what I think is going to happen. They're going
You
to.
know what's one of the saddest things is like in the like he's so broken and like about his dad and his brother at this moment and just whatever has happened and he's so exhausted and he finally got through to Harcourt.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
all through the episode.
Yes.
You just see like she was
Team Chris the
Yes.
whole way.
on it.
Absolutely.
She was like from the very first moment when they're fighting, like in the beginning of the episode, you're like, oh, there's a spark
There's
here.
a spark here. They're
Like,
back.
there's something else.
They're holding hands on the bike.
Yes,
She's holding on
just
tight.
like the look that she has, like
Yeah.
even that, like even when just throughout the episode, it is just like she's giving him different looks,
Yeah.
like than she ever did before, and even in
Absolutely.
season 1, like they were flirty little girl looks, like like she is,
Yeah.
she's smitten at the moment,
Yeah. I just feel bad. I feel sad for him, man. That they had like the monologue or the montage basically of everything he touches dies. Like
yeah,
so sad. I mean, this is just emotional. He's an emotional wreck.
yeah.
He's broken. And I think that's the only thing that can happen in the finale. And again, unless they do a rushed thing where Keith comes over, I think we're going to get some sort of jailbreak, some sort of something. That's
Yeah.
probably going to be the conflict. But like Chris tried to end it. Like they all convinced me to come back to give this to you. And then Judo Master lies to
Yeah.
protect him. And it seems like Judo Master is kind of neutral or partial to them now. So
Yeah.
A great episode for him.
great episode for him.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
right. That's right. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about with Judo Master. But yeah, just before we get on to all the fun stuff, and there's a lot of that and all the other minor plot points, like this main one is like, that's what I'm like, where is this going to go in this next episode? I think that's where it wasn't a bad episode. It wasn't a bad penultimate, but I was just expecting like a lot more to set us up to keep us in Earth 2. Like
Yeah.
I was expecting Argus from Earth 1 to get through the portal. But now we're going back to Earth 1.
Yeah.
That's where I feel let down.
I don't think we got to explore Earth 2 enough.
That's
I was
right.
really hoping for like what we talked about with like GI Robot.
Yeah.
Like
like
I know that's
something-
I know that's a reach, but like
That would have been so
Yeah.
stinking cool.
I mean, like what a perfect way to introduce it, and then just have him mowing down Nazis. That would keep us in
Yes.
Earth 2 for a little bit longer, and it fits into the storyline. I mean, like who would be more geeked out to kill Nazis than
Yeah,
yeah,
GI
exactly.
Robot? So like I feel I'm not gonna say that was a miss because he still could do that eventually, but I was hoping that more Earth X or 2 or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I'm like, I'm not mad, but I am slightly disappointed because it feels like I was expecting Augie to be this terror of a man. I was expecting, and Keith
Yeah.
is a hothead, and then this is a very formative episode for I think Keith's future. But like I was expecting to see a lot of action, like things happening in Earth 2, not going back to Earth 1 and Chris is totally defeated, a shell of himself. Everything's sad and bleak. I mean, even Flag, he's thinking like, we're about to freaking do this. And they show up and it's like, here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's just kind of a letdown even for like the characters. Like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
because you don't get to see like I don't know, even like these characters that have been they don't really get to
Festering.
make any choices.
Yeah, that's right.
Like like Bordeaux doesn't get to show anything there. Flag doesn't. Flurry doesn't.
Flurry doesn't see any birds,
Like,
although Eagly was there.
Like we'll just like it would have been a moment for Flurry to like make a choice potentially.
Yeah.
because we have been talking about like where does Flurry's true allegiances lie? Because he's had moments of wavering.
Yeah, right.
Where you're like, maybe,
Yeah.
like maybe he's not as bad of a dude, or maybe he's not just this bureaucrat that we've seen him as.
Yeah.
But no one really got to make any definitive choices here.
See, this is where I'm at. It's like in isolation, not a bad episode. Like a lot that was like, whoa, like all the stuff with Augie again was amazing. There's a lot of funny things that happened. There was some action in this episode.
Yeah.
But what it does for the finale, and I could be totally wrong, dude. Maybe next week it's gonna be amazing, and people are gonna be laughing at me. But there's a part of me that just feels like one big freaking like, huh, that's it. You know?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I do kind of feel like it was a little bit like
Left wanting more.
Yeah, because I really do think like I said, like I had a prediction before the episode that felt like would have been super cool. Like,
yeah, say it. Go ahead.
Like with Flag, if it was with Flag Jr. and like, what if he turns out to be a member of the Sons of Liberty?
Yeah.
And he's just been working undercover
At Argus
this whole time because like the whole idea of like everything that we know about Flag Jr. from Earth 1 is he's like kind of the pinnacle of like, you know, the good guy in a lot of ways. Like he is, like he does the right thing essentially no matter what, even if it gets him killed.
Right.
Which it did. And like it's literally everything that like Peacemaker wishes that he could be. Like in a lot of ways, like everything about his journey from the moment he kills Flag is to essentially almost fill his shoes, like in a way.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like he took him out of the world, so he kind of feels like he has to fill that role, and I think that's kind of like what he's trying to go for in a way. But it would have been interesting to see, especially interesting if there was a moment, and you could have had a great comedic moment where you have Harcourt Earth 2 being the hardcore Nazi, and like her, like she's like basically this idea of, I always knew there was something wrong with him. It was like Flag Jr.'s member of the Sons of Liberty.
That's right.
Yeah, but you know, getting to Argus and just like I think you were just getting at it, just like the clues.
Oh,
and it was just
insane.
Maybe all the copies of Mind Comp on the
literally on the
every
tables.
desk,
and then the mural.
The mural of
Maybe
Hitler.
the mural of Hitler, and it's like, okay, that's the one where it's like, you know, he literally said, he's like, you know, I'm buff, I don't read books or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like, okay, how'd you not see the mural?
Yeah, the book I could understand because like, if
totally.
you're just not paying attention, you might just not even read
Absolutely
the name of on the book. Like the like you may not see the title. You know, like that I could understand, and of course they do a great rule of 3 right there, where it's just like it just ramps up, and you're just like, oh, like oh, yeah. It's just like he's just like, oh, that one's on me.
Yeah, that's right, dude. Just the absurdity of seeing Hitler with the American Nazi flag in the insane, dude.
Yeah,
dude, and also kind of a funny moment where Augie was like, where he's explaining to Keith how he saw his doppelganger, and he's like, but he was just something wrong with him. Like he was cruel. Like he was coming from a world there's just, he said, much darker than ours or something.
Yes.
And it's like, dude, you're in Nazi world, you know?
Yeah.
But he is right where that Augie was miserable.
Oh, he was.
Oh, man, he's the worst. Like, you came over last week, Amado, before you got there, Jordan, and we were watching last week's episode. I had episode 1 or 2, or I think it was 1 of season 1.
Yeah.
And you see a little bit of Augie, and it's just like, it's hard to watch. I get uncomfortable watching your Earth 1's Augie because he is just so wicked, you know?
Yeah, he's wicked. He's miserable.
Miserable.
Yes.
I think, and I don't normally go out on, like, you know, I don't usually throw shots out there. I would really love to see if the Augies had switched universes at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, again, I'm not thinking too far into it. Like, there's nothing that's I got signs.
Well, no, because like, could Augie and Earth 1, is he even capable of being happy?
Yeah.
Like, even if he got to Earth 2 and it's his perfect world, all white people, is he still so miserable that he couldn't enjoy it?
Yeah.
You know?
Now,
like,
it's an interesting thought.
Or is it miserable that, like, he's not in the other world, he's in Earth 1, and, like, that's why he's so grumpy all the time, and, like, is the other one happy because he's got both his sons back? I don't know. Like, it just...
Now, what could have been interesting is if he had been, like, this evil person in Earth 2.
Yeah.
That would have been an interesting switch where Earth, like, if he had switched over and he was happy because he used to be in Earth 1 where it was very diverse, and Then he goes to Earth 2, and he can be his miserable self, so
Yeah.
he's happy. And then Earth 2 somehow got trapped on that side,
Yep.
and that's why he's so miserable. It's
Interesting.
because he got switched,
Yeah.
and he hasn't figured out how to get back.
Right.
And so he's miserable. The entire world is different from what he is, in like in his mind, the worst way possible.
Right. Seriously.
And I lost all hope of that, like when he died, because I was like,
Oh, yeah.
how are you gonna announce that or like do the reveal of that when both versions are dead?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Honestly, that would have been
Yeah.
stupid. Honestly,
Oh,
it
yeah,
would have
sure.
been
for sure.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is like how Augie just believed Chris. He's like, so it was an accident,
Yeah.
and Keith's like, he effing killed him. He
Yeah.
said, you know, it's like
Yeah.
he said, and he's like, and then they circle back to it like 4 or 5 minutes later. He's like, I believe him when he says it was an accident. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, like it's so trusting.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
who is
like
this
honestly
guy?
that like there wasn't a moment where they ever interacted where I would have been like Augie from Earth 1 would have believed anything Chris
No.
said.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just such a like the fact that they did that. I mean, kudos to Gunn. Even though I was kind of criticizing it because I just feel let down. I think I'm let down because I wanted to see more of the context of Earth 2. And look, maybe we'll get that. Maybe there's a season 3, and you're going to see Keith is going to become Hitler, and he's trying to take over Earth 1. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But like, I think they created a supervillain there,
Yeah.
and he's gonna just go berserk.
Just
you know?
my personal preference on any show is and this may not be what they did. There may be more conflict, but I don't like when shows tie up everything like in a neat bow in the penultimate episode, and then like you almost have a filler episode of like for the last episode. And I'm not saying that's what he's doing here, because there could be some crazy stuff happen next week, and I hope
Yeah,
there is.
yeah.
I just don't like when shows do that when they're like, let's get it all wrapped up and taken care of, and then the last episode's just kind of a filler.
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes that can be good if it's an epic enough moment. I don't feel like it had the moment to be. I think it was moved a little too fast for it to be epic enough for it to be that way. Because like a show like Game of Thrones, was
That's exactly what I was
notorious-
about to say.
Was
Exactly what I was
notorious
thinking.
for the penultimate episode of a season being
Yep.
the episode. Like
Yeah.
every big episode you've ever thought of Game of Thrones was the penultimate episode.
Yep.
And then they had an episode to wrap it up.
So maybe we're getting at.
I mean, but the thing is, I don't think there was anything so epic that there is anything to. If that is what they're doing, then I don't think they did enough in this episode for it to warrant that.
peak
Is what
enough.
I'm saying.
I don't know. We got 2 vigilantes in this episode.
I mean,
In action.
in
one,
action.
and one of them may have sacrificed himself.
Yeah, I know. Although honestly, he probably got out of there.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. There's a lot of
First
cops.
one got shot, right?
I think ours got shot.
Or at least like glanced.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah. He got shot in the arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then
Earth One's was definitely the one that got shot.
then Earth 2's vigilante, like, super athletic, like
Oh,
super
yeah.
obnoxious, kicks the door shut when he like didn't have to.
It's
jump
such a
that way.
cool move.
Yeah,
Like it was such a ridiculous,
Yeah.
but yet cool move.
yeah. I mean, your hand works too. Just grab the door, and he's like, "I'm dodging bullets, man."
Yeah.
That's probably something he would say. Okay, you guys want to talk about some of the fun?
Yeah.
Okay.
Always.
All right. So literally, you were talking about him being an Argus earlier. All the, all the, the Nazi propaganda everywhere. But speaking of Nazis, all the Nazis running at Adebayo, and
Yeah.
somehow she's escaping.
Yep.
Sure, whatever. But she goes swimming, and dude, literally, we're watching it live, and Amato was like, "Why is she in the pool? Why would you jump in the water?" I was like, "Dude, this is such a bad idea."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a bad idea.
But then Judo
But of
Master's,
course.
Judo Master's right there. And we wondered, like, I thought Judo Master, again, though, that's my point. Like, I was kind of hoping he would have gotten caught because I kind of want to see what happens. But
Yeah, that would have been. I do think they'll do some a really cool scene if you got to see him in there. Like, so you have somebody who's been there a day or two, bringing in the new person, but then you also have people who've been there a long, long time. So
Yeah.
you get like a little bit of the feel of the universe.
I honestly, I bet it's just that it would have been. We were talking about how it's some touchy subjects he's talking on. It probably just would have been like, we can't like show, even if it's a fake world in another universe. It's just too. It'd probably be too much to show a world where it's literally just like internment camps with minorities.
Yeah.
It's probably something like that. But anyways, Judo Master gets Adebayo out of the water, and then, dude, just fries these
That was
people to
great.
death. These literally electrocutes Nazis to death in the pool.
What did you say? The second most? Or no, it was the most. It was the most.
He was
that
like the
killed.
most. Yeah, he's like the most people I've ever killed by electrocution in a pool. And Adebayo was like, "How many people have you killed by electrocuting him in a pool?" He's like 4. Dude, Judo Master was amazing this episode. Like,
Yeah.
he's going around. He's like, he found this house. The people are gone, but this one had the most snacks. He said, even though the Cheetos that end in an H aren't as good.
Yeah.
Scrabble, yeah. And just honestly, the way that I mean, Adebayo's like, I'm sorry I tasered you. And Judo Master's like, yeah. Like, just nonchalant about it.
Well, I think he sees like he has a very the way he thinks about fighting is essentially like, especially if it's a fair fight or even if it's if you are fighting, what you do during a fight doesn't always define you. Is kind of how I think he kind of sees it.
Yeah.
Like he understands that in combat you are a person, and then when you're out of combat, you're essentially a different person.
Yeah.
So like I think he has these defined rules in his own mind where when he's in battle, he is literally essentially a different person in his own mind. So he can compartmentalize that stuff.
And talking about what's fair, like he even said to her, like, she's like, "Why'd you help me?" He's like, "Didn't seem like a fair fight," and like that's why he lifted her out of the water.
Yeah.
So, anyways, also when the two vigilantes show up at the house and Judo Master and Adebayo are in the bushes, just maybe
Pure gold.
Pure gold.
Yeah.
The two vigilantes both talking in their humorous way. He's like, "Why is this little green?" Says a bad word
Yes.
here. I hate this guy, and they're just going back and forth. And by far the best moment for me in the whole episode was one vigilante says, "We could just kill the cops," and like vigilante 2's like, "Yeah, let's just kill the cops," and then it just pans, and you see little Judo Master, and he's like, "I'm cool with killing the cops."
Yeah. Yeah. It was it. Yeah. They were just
The timing was so good, man.
Yeah, they
And
were just ready. It was just funny because Ads was like the only one that was like, "Whoa!"
Yes.
Like,
honestly, you know what it gave? I mean, honestly, I hate to make the connection, but it was like a very Guardians of the Galaxy kind of move, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like they're all like, "Yeah, let's do this," and Drax is like, "I'm okay." Like, you
Yeah.
killing the cops, and like it's Gamora. Adebayo is basically Gamora, like, "No, guys, we're not going to kill the cops."
She got outvoted.
She
did.
She did. Yeah, they had to do what they had to do.
well, actually, no. But it wasn't until they broke into the house.
That's true.
She
It was
actually
later.
won.
She actually did.
She actually won. In
Yeah,
that
you're
moment.
right. You're right.
Because she's like, "Let's just sneak into the house."
That's right. They
And
did
that's what they essentially try to do.
Which, if you think about it, Adebayo basically killed Augie because of that, winning that decision. Like, dude, I still can't believe that moment. We're sitting on the couch and you could just see Vigilante in the background in this moment where he is completely confessing how he's not a Nazi. He's a good dude. It's becoming clear to everyone in the room, and then dead.
Yeah. Yeah, you're really feeling it, and like
yes.
It was so well shot, like because it looked so odd. It
Yeah.
was shot so awkwardly
Yes.
that it drew attention to what was going on behind
Exactly.
it, so that you would see what was going on.
And I do like the, like you said, like you're like, glad it wasn't like a shot.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't remember what movie they talk about killing with knives is just so personal.
Yeah, that's Dark Knight.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like, that's a guy. What's his name? Joker, something
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Something like that. But yeah, so like killing with knives is personal, and then like for him to get that close to him, and then just multiple. I think it just multiplied the whole situation.
Yeah. I mean, and then Chris is like mourning his second dad dying, and there's like a picture of him like in a suit. Looks like a
and he looks so
a
happy.
senator. Looks so
Yeah.
happy.
Yes.
Yeah, presidential. Very
Yeah,
presidential.
he looks just like he looks like just such a stand-up guy in that moment.
Yes.
One thing I'm wondering what we're going to see is if we do get Keith at some point as either some other version of himself or as literally the White Dragon.
I really like that theory.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Like if he comes over, I want to see a moment where Vigilante goes to stab him. Where does he go to stab him? Between the armor, and because of what just happened in Earth 2, Keith has made his armor to where there are no
Holes.
holes because that they kind of very specifically were like getting him in between his
Yeah.
armor, and
Yeah,
like it would be
yeah.
interesting to see him like because multiple times like in season 1, Vigilante brings up the fact that there are seams and there are holes.
Oh,
in his
that's right.
armor.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting if he comes over as White Dragon and he has
But
fixed that
It's fixed it
because of what happened to him at the end of this season.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Man, again, a lot going on here, and really having no idea. I mean, because like if they don't do a jailbreak, it's like I guess in Flag's mind, I mean, he's got what he's looking for, and everyone else is cool. Like it looks like Flag's letting them all go. Like maybe Flag becomes a villain because he still goes after Adebayo and Economist and Amelia, but he did it later. You know, he saved face, but he goes after him later. Like maybe that's the only other angle I can think of. Like, what's the conflict? Like, Flag goes on a power trip, maybe now that he's got this portal.
Like, do you think he uses the portal next episode?
I was
like,
wondering
to see his
that.
son.
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
I didn't even
what if he
think about
sees
that.
his son and his son? What if I've been saying Flag was the son of Liberty? What if he finds out that his son is just the worst over in that? Like he is
Yeah.
like the like the head of like some like he's like
ultra Nazi.
yeah he's
Do
like
you
the head of
remember
the
like how
Gestapo or something.
awkward and how like just goofy he was? Remember when he was like trying to spy on them?
Yes.
Like, I mean, it could be an act, but
It could be an act. Well, but the thing is, in either answer, if he's super evil and it's an act, then that'd be kind of crazy. But honestly, if he was Sons of Liberty, and that's still kind of crazy that that's the role, the idea that he decided to go with.
Yeah.
I want to be the goofy dude in the office.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, that one seems like a bigger stretch for me. Flag using the portal, going over there. It just feels like it took Chris a lot of times to
Yeah.
discover all that. It
Yeah.
would be too much to do in just the finale for me. Now, could he use the portal in general to access the common area? You know, the lobby, if you will.
That's true.
Maybe. Could he just take it to Lex? Like, hey, I got this new toy.
Maybe there's something where we kind of seen him get played by like Bordeaux. What if Bordeaux is working for someone else and essentially it's a team up between Flag and the Peacemaker team.
I can see
11th
that.
Street Kids.
Yeah.
Because there's people inside their own organization that are not doing things the way they should be.
Yeah, Flurry's going to be the hero.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Flurry has
Yeah.
to make a choice.
Yeah. I still think that the most common thing is, like, you know, the team is together and Vigilante, Hardcourt, not Economist. He's risk averse, but everyone else is like, we have to get him out. And Economist is like, can we please stop putting ourselves at risk for this guy?
Yeah.
You know? But that's probably the most likely thing that'll happen, like some sort of jailbreak. But again, like, they're going to get there and Chris is going to be like, guys, why are you even here? You know? And it's going to be crazy to watch if that's the case. So.
He's been very I mean, he's gotten his butt kicked a lot. Like,
Dude, I feel for him. Like, seeing his performance in this episode for me was amazing.
They said they go in for one last mission, and their mission is to get Flag Jr., bring him over, and that's it's just to heal the wound that
it's the peace
Flag
offering.
Sr. has. Yes,
No.
you get to have.
The
Although that's kind of
Peacemaker
sick.
offering.
Although that's
Ooh.
honestly kind of sick to be like here, essentially like here's your cloned son.
Yeah.
I
That's
got you
essentially
a
what it
new
is.
goldfish.
Yes, he looks exactly the same.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what happens. So, all right. Any other last thoughts, boys, before we wrap it up?
Man, it was honestly by itself, it was a phenomenal episode. You stated that before. It is just going to be really, really interesting. I have a lot of faith in James Gunn,
Me too.
but it's going to be really interesting to see how far they go. I mean, we do have to think of this is supposed to be all one cohesive universe, so it's like it is possible that we may not get all the way to the finish line in this, and they're going to lead to something else.
I think also, like, just like in anything else, like if you're the one doing all the work, like you don't slack off on it because like you're the one's got to clean up after yourself. But then also he has the runway, so where like he doesn't feel like the pressure of like, okay, if I don't land this exactly, I'm getting canned. They can't do that.
That's right.
So I
Can
think,
himself.
yeah. I mean, I think he's got the runway to be able to build this out the right way because they've rushed it in the past. but I do think that he'll play it not safe, but he like not cause too big of ripples that he has to clean up himself later because he's already kind of had to do
Ripples,
that
not
before.
waves.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see. I got faith in Gunn too. But again, it is just a big question mark for me of like, what is the struggle? What is the conflict in this finale? I mean, gonna watch it, can't wait. But
Not with us, you're not going to watch
yeah,
it.
I know. Sadly, I won't be
Nope.
here next week, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna be pulling a Justin. So
Yep.
my replacement.
We just need a post like straight up in like as soon as we watch it, just post it in our little group chat. So he has to watch it as soon as humanly possible.
That's
Oh, did you see this? Did you see that?
I can't believe Superman showed up. Wow.
I mean, he did show up in the last Peacemaker season 1 finale. Technically,
true.
Yeah, that's right.
Although technically, he
Dude, also, how about
Yeah.
Peacemaker and Superman? That was amazing. Remember that?
that was
good.
phenomenal.
So good. All right. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back next week for the review of the finale of season 2 of Peacemaker. So be sure to come back and check that out. Reminder to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen, share the podcast with your friends, and leave us a review, comment, like the video wherever you're listening. And yeah, help us out by sharing this with your friends. With all that in mind, for my good friends Shamato and Jordan Mosley, no Sandy tonight, this is T-Roll saying thank you so much for listening to the Royal Geek Podcast. We will see you next time, you peasants.